guys, it's Shannon with True Crime with Shannon. I wanted to welcome you back to the channel, and if you haven't already, I'd please appreciate it if you hit that like button and hit the subscribe if you have yet to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Just takes you a click, and if you hit that subscribe button, you will be up to date on all my videos that I'll be posting. So again, I wanted to thank you guys for checking out the channel. I'm trying a few video options, so today we're using the higher quality DSLR, so we shall see how that goes. But today, I wanted to discuss the update with Delphi. So, yesterday, which was March 17th, the murder sheet was able to release because as they got a hold of the warrant, the initial warrant request from the Indiana State Police, actually the FBI, and it was requested to search Ron Logan's home and his property as he was 1,400 feet from where Abby and Libby were found back in 2017. It is a long 9-page, affidavit, whatever you like to call it. But I'm going to go through it because it's really interesting. And right off the bat, I wanted to let you guys know I do not believe that Ron Logan is a person of interest anymore, and I don't believe that he had anything to do with the girls. Did he know something? That's possible. With that all said, let's get into it. So this was, like I said, this was originally this was filed back in 2017, and it was filed by an FBI agent named Nicole Robertson. And she here's what's being said, and I will also give you guys my thoughts as we go along. Nicole Robertson swears or affirms that she believes and has good cause to believe evidence of a homicide is located inside the residence of Ronald Logan, located at redacted. Now, another thing, there is some redactions to take certain names and addresses off of the actual paperwork that was requested by law enforcement. So again, inside the residence of Ronald Logan, located at redacted, Delphi, Indiana, situated in the county of Carroll in said state, which is described as a white 2-story single-family dwelling situated in the county of Carroll in said state, including the detached garage, outbuildings, or a white Ford F-250. VIN number, and I'm not going to read the VIN number, it is on here. I will also attach the files if you guys would like to read them. And it states as follows. I, Nicole Robertson, am a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigations and have been employed as such for 12 years. Prior to her employment as an FBI agent, Nicole Robertson was employed as a Sauk Village, Illinois police officer for approximately 6 years. Nicole Robertson is assigned to the Merrillville Resident Agency and currently participates in the investigations of all violent crimes. So I gave you a little background to the FBI agent who actually made this filing back in February of 2017. On February 13, 2017, at approximately 1 p.m., juvenile victims hereafter referred to as LG and AW, which of course we know that's Libby and Abby, were taken to the Monon High Bridge Trail located in Delphi, Indiana. LG and AW were walking the trail in the area of County Road 300 North and 575 West, near latitude 40, 35, 21.4 degrees longitude, 86, 38 degrees 23.3. At approximately 2:13 p.m., which was the time of last contact with LG and AW by cellular device. The victims were to be picked up by a family member at 3 p.m., and the victims never met with the family member. Approximately at 5:30 p.m. was the last successful ping of the cellular phone by AT&T. The victims, LG and AW, were located deceased on February 14, 2017, at approximately 12:17 p.m. at the above listed latitude and longitude, having been the victims of a murder in accordance with Indiana Code 35-42-1-1. Okay, so they wanted to do a search warrant due to obviously the girls were missing, they were found murdered. So let's continue on. Number 2, a suspect has been developed of a white male wearing a blue jacket with a heavy physical build, wearing a cap and blue jeans. The development of this suspect was made by a 43-second video taken on LG's phone, where the suspect follows the victims as they are walking on the Monon High Bridge Trail. Near the end of the video, the suspect speaks to the victim saying, "Down the hill." It sounds as though he is directing the victims to leave the trail that they were on and enter the wooded area below. No person has come forward and identified himself as the person who met with the victims and made the statement in LG's video. Therefore, it is believed that the person in LG's video participated in the killings. Images of the suspect have been broadcast on the news media since February 15, 2017 as a person of interest. Number 3. LG and AW are presumed to have made contact with the unknown male at approximately 2:13 p.m. based upon the analysis of LG's cell phone, which recorded the video. Number 4. On February 14, 2017, at approximately 12:17 p.m., victims LG and AW were found dead with wounds caused by a redacted weapon. Again, they are not telling us what killed the girls. They have redacted that particular detail. On the property owned by Ronald Logan, a large amount of blood was lost by the victims at the crime scene. Because of the nature of the victim's wounds, it is nearly certain the perpetrator of the crime would have gotten blood on his person and clothing. The location of the crime scene is approximately 400 feet from Logan's residence. So basically, Ron Logan became a person of interest, a POI, because of the fact that he was located so close and the girls were found on his property. Number 5. Logan is a 77-year-old male. Logan's physical build is consistent with that of the male suspected in the video by LG on the Monon High Bridge Trail. Logan owns farmland and cares for large farm animals. Logan appears to be in good physical condition. Logan has been interviewed several times. His voice is not inconsistent with that of the person in the video. But let's be honest, there's a number of POIs that we have seen throughout this investigation with Delphi, that their voices are not inconsistent with Bridge Guy. So you have to think, that's just, and of course, there's also this at the beginning, over 5 years ago. Number 6, it was also discovered that the redacted of one of the victims was missing from the crime scene while the rest of their clothing was recovered. We do not know what clothing items were taken or missing. Like I said, they redacted that portion. Some folks believe it might have been underwear or socks. Like I said, we don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was underwear. Excuse me. While the rest of their clothing was recovered. It also appeared the girls' bodies were moved and staged. Based upon my training and experience, it is common for perpetrators of this type of crime to take a souvenir or in some fashion memorialize the crime scene, whether by photos or electronic or digital methods that are then downloaded onto computers, storage devices, tablets, phones, iPad devices, or other electronic devices that store digital data for later viewing, scanning, or copying. So they think that not only did the killer of the girls murder them, he has some sort of souvenir. I guess they're assuming there's some video or some photographs. Number 7, LG and AW had no visible signs of a struggle or fight. Number 8, during the processing of the crime scene, investigators located unknown fibers and unidentified hairs, which may be later used for comparison of similar fibers or hairs. Now, I have a little bit of trouble with number 7, where they're stating that they had no visible signs of a struggle or a fight. Yet the crime scene is, like they say, it was very violent and bloody, so that's a little odd. I think those statements kind of contradict each other. Excuse me. Logan owns numerous weapons, this is number 9, including handguns and knives that were observed by LEOs, that's law enforcement officers, during the execution of a search warrant that took place at his home on March 6, 2017. Logan's home was searched as a result of a probation violation. The search was limited to the discovery of firearms, including only his main residence. So they did search his home, but just his main house, which I believe was a 2-story home. Okay, on number 10. On February 14th, 2017, at approximately 9:28 a.m., Logan contacted his cousin, and this is redacted. Logan asked blank, again redacted, to tell the police that redacted came to Logan's home between 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. on February 13th of 2017 to pick up Logan, and Logan's further told to pick up Logan. Logan further told redacted to say that redacted drove Logan to an aquarium store in Lafayette, Indiana. Logan told redacted to say that they returned home to Logan's house between 5 and 5:30 p.m. So he was trying to establish an alibi at this point. On number 11, on February 14th, 2017, while requesting to consent to search Logan's property, a law enforcement officer, LEO, advised Logan that LEOs would not search his home unless evidence led LEOs to Logan's house. In that meeting, Logan told the LEO that he did not think the evidence would lead them to that, but he said, "I don't know." Number 12, a receipt from Aquarium World in Lafayette, dated February 13th, 2017, with a checkout time of 5:21 p.m., was found in Logan's home on March 6th, 2017, during a probation violation search. Logan resides at approximately 22 miles from the store. It would take approximately 30 minutes to get from the store to Logan's home and there and back. On March 6th, 2017, an interview with an LEO, Logan said he was picked up by Redacted around 3 p.m. Again, this is his cousin, and taken straight to the aquarium store in Lafayette. In the March 6th, 2017 interview, Logan said after he was done at the aquarium store, he was driven straight home. These statements were found to be factually false and intentionally designed to deceive LEOs. So he basically made that up. I don't know. He went to the aquarium, but it was obviously not the time he stated. So there was some missing there. So his alibi wasn't exactly checking out for him. Number 14, on March 7th, 2017, Redacted was interviewed by an LEO. Redacted told the LEO that he was with Logan on Monday, February 13th, 2017, and that Redacted drove Logan to the aquarium store in Lafayette. On March 9th, 2017, Redacted was interviewed by another LEO regarding the trip to the aquarium. The Redacted told the LEO that he had lied when he was interviewed by the LEO on March 7th, 2017, at Logan's request. Redacted explained that Logan had never asked Redacted to lie for him in the past. Redacted knows that Logan has driven his vehicle while on probation and is prohibited from doing so. Redacted also said that Logan did not ask him to lie for Logan when Logan drove to the transfer station earlier in the day. So Logan basically was not allowed to drive. This is why he was asking a family member to pick him up and take him to the aquarium store. On March 15, on March 12th, 2017, Redacted explained in an interview to an LEO that Logan called him on the morning of February 14th, 2017, and asked him to provide the alibi for Logan's drive to the aquarium in Lafayette. This phone call was made prior to the LEO's discovery of LG and AW's deceased bodies. Based on investigators' experience, it is reasonable to believe that the creation of an alibi prior to the discovery of a crime indicates culpability or knowledge of the crime. 16. Redacted said he thought the photograph of the male that was released by the media of the man on the bridge looked like Logan. 17. LEOs learned that Logan had driven February 13th, 2017 to the transfer station in Delphi, Indiana to drop off trash. Video from the transfer station shows Logan driving his white Ford pickup truck between 11:27 a.m. and 11:32 a.m. The video from the transfer station appears to be off by 26 minutes. This puts Logan at the transfer station from approximately 11:53 and 11:58 a.m. So I guess he was already out, so he was trying to, establish an alibi because he wasn't supposed to be out in a car. He was supposed to drive. 18. Logan did not ask Redacted to provide an alibi for his drive to the transfer station on February 13th, 2017. Logan only asked Redacted to provide an alibi for a trip that would have occurred at the time of the apparent abduction of LG and AW. 19. On March 8th, 2017, Redacted was interviewed by LEOs. Redacted met Logan about 7 or 8 years ago. Redacted was in a personal relationship with Logan for a couple of months and would stay with him in his home on the weekends. Redacted left Logan after he became physically abusive. During her interview, Redacted explained that Logan continued to stalk and harass Redacted after their breakup. During their relationship, Logan had dragged Redacted out of her car by her hair. Redacted still fears Logan. Redacted has not had contact with Logan in approximately 2 years. Redacted told interviewers that Logan had told her in the past that he could kill her and that no one would find her body. That doesn't sound good for him. It really doesn't. Number 20. During her March 8th, 2017 interview, Redacted said she knew Logan carried a gun everywhere he went. Redacted knew that Logan would carry a gun in a fanny pack. Redacted described Logan's fanny pack as one made out of nicer material. So they were saying he's wearing a fanny pack, and considering it looks like Bridge Guy has this big heavy jacket and potentially a fanny pack. So that was another suspect, reason why he was also considered a POI. Number 21. During her March 8th, 2017 interview, Redacted told LEOs when she first saw the photograph of the man on the bridge, she thought the police were looking for Logan because she thought the photograph was Logan. Redacted did not initially realize the photograph was that of the suspect. So I guess when she saw it, she said, "Well, that's Logan, right?" But it was Bridge Guy. 22. A call placed using Logan's cell phone produced cell tower data that shows Logan's cell phone appears to be in or around his property on February 13th, 2017 at 2:09 p.m. Although his exact location cannot be confirmed, the tower data shows that Logan's cell phone was in the Delphi area, in the area of the Monhon High Bridge Trail. Well, he lives there, so he was home at that time. So he was on his property somewhere on that property. So I guess that was why he wanted to get an alibi, because he was right there. And so I mean, they're gonna think, oh, he did it. Number 23. An analysis of Logan's cell phone data revealed a text message sent from his phone at 7:56 p.m. on February 13th, 2017. Initial exam of this analysis indicates Logan's phone was likely outside of his residence and in the proximity of where LG and AW's bodies were located. 24. An analysis of Logan's cell phone data revealed a text message received by his phone at 10:16 p.m. on February 13th, 2017. Initial exam of this analysis indicates Logan's phone was likely outside of his residence and in the proximity of where LG and AW's bodies were located. Again, he lived 1,400 feet away from where their bodies were found, so that makes sense if he was home. 25. Logan met with LEOs on or about February 17, 2017, while they were on his property. Logan was physically able to get up and down the hill from his home to the crime scene. 26. On March 14th of 2017, Logan's former housemate, Redacted, was interviewed. Redacted resided with Logan from about September 2016 through December of 2016. So they lived there from September to December of 2016. Redacted was in a sexual relationship with Logan on and off for approximately 3 years. During this interview with the LEOs, Redacted said when she first learned that AW and LG were missing and then found dead over near Logan's home, her initial thought was that Logan was involved. Redacted said in her interview that she would fear Logan and even previously told her baby's father if she ever ended up dead, Logan did it. So he did not have a very good reputation with his girlfriends, because I guess he was really mean to him, and we're about to get more into that. So he was really mean to his girlfriends, and he threatened them. So when they hear that there was these 2 dead girls near his property, maybe it's him. Okay, 27. On March 14th of 2017, Redacted explained in her interview that Logan had been violent with her in the past. Redacted explained that on July 4th of 2016, while at Logan's home, Logan punched her in the face, knocking her down. Redacted explained she was drinking, but that Logan was completely sober during the incident. She also explained that Logan was angry because she disrespected Logan while in Logan's home. So he definitely did not like to be disrespected. He didn't take anything from his women. So the look is just, he doesn't look good in this way. So, okay, 28. On February 13th of 2017, LG's family began searching the area of the trail where LG and AW were initially dropped off, beginning shortly after 3 p.m. LG's family and other community members joined the search shortly thereafter. Carroll County Sheriff's Office was notified at approximately 5:30 p.m. that LG and AW were missing. Once the search for LG and AW began, no one reported seeing any person matching the description of the male on the bridge. They were out there searching. They didn't see anybody that looked like BG or anybody, because everyone that was out there was a searcher, or they lived on the nearby properties. The FBI has established, this is 29, the FBI has established a database for the collection and organization of tips by the public, in this case. A search of the database has revealed 15 tips in which citizens, both known and anonymous, attributed the crime to Logan for various reasons. 30. Based on the aforementioned facts, Logan was in the area at the time the crime occurred and that he provided false information about his activities during the crime to law enforcement, has a prior propensity for violence, employed others to assist in deceiving law enforcement, and plotted an alibi for a crime that had not been yet discovered. So this whole warrant affidavit, he doesn't look good at all. I mean, they obviously had some good probable cause to search his home at this point. Okay, information to be searched and things to be seized. Number 1, based upon the aforementioned facts, I believe that there is probable cause to believe that Ronald Logan has committed the crime of murder, and evidence of that could be found on Ronald Logan's property. Number 2, the affidavit requests a warrant to search Ronald Logan's entire property located at, again redacted, Delphi, Indiana 46923, described as a white 2-story single-family dwelling, including his detached garage, outbuildings, and vehicle, a white Ford F-250, bearing VIN for evidence. For evidence purposes related to the murders of LG and AW for the following property. Okay, here's what they were looking for. Number 3, any and all evidence pertaining to a murder, including clothing, forensic evidence, blood, seen and unseen, hair, bodily fluids, seen and unseen, fibers, weapons including guns and cutting instruments, electronic devices used to produce the cellular signals detected by law enforcement in the area of the crime scene, and hair and animal hair samples. Okay, and 4, computers and computer equipment, digital storage devices, tapes, cassettes, cartridges, streaming tape, commercial software and hardware, computer disks, flash drives, disk drives, monitors, computer printers, modems, tape drives, disk application programs, data disks, system disk operating systems, magnetic media floppy disks, computer software, hardware and software operating manuals, tape systems and hard drive, and other computer-related operation equipment, digital cameras, scanners, in addition to computer photographs, graphic interchange formats and or photographs, undeveloped photographic film, slides or other visual depictions as such graphic interchange format equipment, and the data stored within these materials, which has been used or may be used to store evidence of the crime, research ways to conceal a crime or destroy a crime scene. Yeah, they're very thorough when they do these, so they don't have anything that can be slid through. There's no holes in their search warrants. Number 5, records, documents, writings, and correspondence containing information about the crime scene, or any individual involved in the crime. Number 6, any and all tablets, phones, iPad devices, and any and all electronic devices which may contain digital data. Number 7, any and all computer data, including but not limited to photographs, videos, documents, emails, and sound files, which may contain evidence of the violations of the criminal statutes listed at the beginning of this affidavit. I affirm under penalty of perjury as specified in LC 35-44.1-2-1 that the foregoing representations are true. Dated this 27th day of March 2017, and it was signed by Nicole Robertson of the FBI. So that is the request for the warrant from the FBI, and then it's also in the documents was obtained the approval for the actual search warrant. So let's get into that. It was approved on March 17th of 2017. You are authorized and ordered in the name of the state of Indiana with necessary and proper assistance to enter into Ron Logan's entire property located at redacted Delphi, Carroll County, Indiana 46923. Described as a white 2-story single-family dwelling, including his detached garage, outbuildings, and a white Ford F-20, VIN number, it's on there, but I'm not going to read it, for evidence related to the murders of LG and AW, and diligently search for the following items. Okay, number 1, any and all evidence pertaining to a murder, including clothing, forensic evidence, blood, seen and unseen, hair, bodily fluids, seen and unseen, fibers, weapons, including guns and cutting instruments, electronic devices used to produce the cellular signals detected by law enforcement in the area of crime scene, and animal hair samples. And again, number 2 covers every single possible computer equipment, tapes, floppy drives, and photographic evidence. And then number 3 jumps to we got records, documents, writings, and correspondence containing information about the crime scene, or any individual involved in the crime. Any and all tablets, this number 4, phones, iPad devices, and any other electronic devices which may contain digital data. You are ordered to seize such property or any part thereof found on such search. Dated the 17th day of March 2017, and it was signed by Benjamin A. Diener, judge, and Curtis G. Fouch, judge, acting judge of Carroll County Court. Okay, so that was the warrant request and warrant approval back in 2017. Now, what interests me is the further information that we have learned. Like I said, these all got hold of by the Murder Sheet podcast. Um, but what was really interesting is what the FBI has had to say. And they have, at this point, let's see. I wrote this on my blog for those of you that have missed the blog. Please check it out. Again, it's girls.soul.com, but I will go over it briefly here. FBI Special Agent in Charge, Herbert J. Stapleton, stated in a written statement that the FBI has provided assistance to the Indiana State Police and the Carroll County Sheriff's Office in this investigation, and will continue to help in any way we can to see justice done for Libby and Abby. Because this is a pending investigation, we do not have any details to share at this time. Stapleton continued, the bodies were staged. We don't know what that means. Disturbing details, it mentions it was a bloody, brutal crime. Again, disturbing details, it mentions it was a bloody, brutal crime. See, this is why I'm real suspicious, because they're saying that they found pieces of clothing were missing, and they also state that there was no visible signs of a fight or struggle. So I don't believe that Libby and Abby wouldn't have fought. So, and if it was a bloody scene, as they stated, and if it was a bloody scene, you would have, not only would there be blood everywhere on the ground, even if they moved them a couple feet or however they were staging them, but you would have also had the whoever killed them would have blood all over them. So, I mean, there's no way, and then they would have struggled. So, I find it hard to believe that they didn't struggle. Those girls fought. I really believe that they fought for every single thing. And they're also stating that the FBI is suspecting that a souvenir had been taken by the girl's killer, as it was common for perpetrators to want to remember the crime scene. So they don't know if it's pictures. Did he take some other items from the girls? Because again, we don't know. This is actually the furthest we've heard on the bodies officially from anybody. But again, it was like, Ron Logan. I don't believe he was the killer. I do not believe that. This, like I said, this information is great. They're releasing it. They're able to get a hold of it, because the whole point is we're learning more about the girls. They were found. It was staged. It was moved. And there's some talk that this was relating to another crime. There was a house fire that killed children not far away in Delphi. Again, I think Logan, he was generally cleared. I don't think it was. There was a post on Twitter, but I don't believe it was 100% official. But I do believe he was generally cleared, and they never found anything on his property that went back to the girls. They never, found anything like that. So, and again, I still wonder if Bridge Guy was one guy and then there was another person involved. And again, does the Anthony Shots account have anything to do with any of this? So now we've got the Anthony Shots account, that they're catfishing, that Keegan and gosh knows who else was trying to get a hold of girls' photos and meet up with them. And then you got, Ron Logan, who was another person of interest and never a actual suspect. So if they do have DNA and fibers and all that stuff that they've stated in recent days, I would think that they would have more information on a suspect at this point. Not only with the DNA to search it, but with all the ancestries and all these other things, you should be able to find a family member and be able to trace that back to the family. So I'm definitely intrigued on what connections does the Anthony Shots mean anything? I mean, the good thing is that they've got Kagan in jail. He's going to be facing these charges, and there's surely a lot of sadly a lot of child pornography being passed around, and the Anthony Shots account was a big one, and I believe that's been big for Indiana right now. So it could have just been a strange coincidence, that they communicated. Again, I don't believe Kagan did it, and I don't believe Ron did it either. Did he know something? That's another whole thing. So, but we'll see what happens. And now that we've seen that the bodies, like I said, were staged and they were moved, and there's DNA and there's fibers. So what are they waiting for? Do they not have enough DNA? Do they not have something to match? That is today's update, this week's update on the Delphi. I'm definitely keeping an eye on this case. It is something I'm going to be covering. So check the blog regularly if you are good at reading. And most of the time, my articles are anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 minutes, so it shouldn't take you too long to read them. But I will be doing videos on a lot of these cases pretty regularly. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please do pull up the full affidavits if you guys want to read any of those court documents. In the meanwhile, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit the like if you like it, I would really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys checking out the channel, and have a good one.